Fancy a paddle? How about this for a setting? Well, the peace and tranquility of the French countryside is just about to be disturbed as two antiques-mad Brits get ready for yet another battle of the bric-a-brac. So let's get ready to rummage! Welcome to the old town of Isle-sur-la-Sorgue. This is surely one of the most delightful towns in the whole of Old Provence. It is also home to France's second biggest antiques fair, when twice a year and for 5 days, the whole town is completely taken over by antiques dealers from all over France and buyers from all over the world. So our teams today will have every opportunity to unearth some spectacular finds as they embark upon an antiques trail to look for those real knockdown bargains to sell on back in the UK. And what better place to do a bit of bartering than in Isle-sur-la-Sorgue? The town itself rightly deserves its reputation as a ville de l'eau, literally a town of water, sitting as it does over dozens of springs, streams and tributaries of the River Sorgue. The town started life as a fishing village, and wherever you go, water is not too far away. In fact, in the 12th century, the old town was built on wooden and stone stilts right above the river. The many watermills and plethora of antique shops have made this town a busy tourist location for visitors from all over the world. Today, two of those visitors are from Britain, and they're not just here to admire the fine views, they are here to beat the antique dealers and to turn a fast buck. They're going to have to haggle until they're hoarse if they want to stand a chance of becoming today's victors by making the most profit when they sell all their items back in the UK. I have £350 worth of euros for each team, and they have to spend every penny. So I think it's time to meet today's contestants. Dave and Cath are friends from Southport in Merseyside. Dave's a master baker and confectioner and is never happier than when he's caravanning with his wife and daughter. As a collector, he's always on the lookout for pottery, particularly Wade, Yadro and Clarice Cliff.
Love to go to France. Very excited about it. I'm not too sure what kind of things they sell out there. I'm not expecting to find any Wade there, but I'd be interested to know what they do sell and what British buy. So it's a wait-and-see game, I think.
Helping Dave today is our very own Jonty Herndon. He's suave, he's sophisticated, and he has a head full of antique information, which has proved a cunning combination in many a French market. Competing against Dave today is his neighbour Cath, a head cook from a school in Southport. She's an avid collector of midwinter ceramics and Victoriana, especially jewellery.
I suppose it started with me not too long ago, about 6-7 years ago, to collecting things. Before that, I was always interested in antiques. I loved old furniture, china, porcelain, lots of things. My grandmother had some lovely bits and pieces, and I always appreciated them.
Guiding Cath through the do's and don'ts of market life will be Mark Franks. The French see him coming and weep. He'll knock those traders right down to rock bottom and still further if he can. Morning, bargain spotters.
Morning, Chris.
What a glorious day.
Beautiful.
Dave, what are you going to be looking for today?
Bit of KitchenAid, breweryana, something that can be used, not stuck in a cupboard, and never to be seen again.
I like the sound of that. Jonty, how easy will that be to find?
Well, that sounds music to my ears. This market is absolutely brimming with stock, so we can't wait to get started.
There is indeed a lot here. And Cathy, how are you?
I'm fine.
And what are you looking for?
Oh, I'm looking for anything for my kitchen, my garden, a bit of glassware, perhaps.
Well, KitchenAid for you. I mean, because you're a cook, aren't you?
That's right, I am, yeah.
And how easy will that be to sell back home, Mark?
Well, as you know, I've got a bit of a passion for KitchenAid, but I think we've covered most bases there, so today should be a doddle. Let Cath lead the way.
I'm glad to hear it. That sounds good to me. Well, let's not stand on ceremony a moment longer. Here are your money bags, £350 and euros in each, and experts, your books to keep a record of everything you buy here today. And remember, the mantra today is it collectible or ejectable? Right, are you ready to go, teams?
Absolutely.
Right then, belt up, it's time to buy.
everybody in.
We call them piano babies.
Oh.
And they're little cherubs normally, little babies, little models that you put on tops of pianos.
Whilst the teams are getting busy, let me tell you how it all works. Both teams must buy at least 10 items here to resell in the UK. Now, you may think that £350 to spend on antiques is quite easy, but let me tell you, there's an awful lot of tat out there, and those French dealers are no pushover, because they too are out to make as much money as they can.
Are you reliving your childhood there, Dave?
Oh, absolutely. I remember my first train set.
It's a Hornby train set, no less. And you notice here it's actually got French writing on the outside, so what actually Frank Hornby did was actually franchise this out to French makers, which is quite genius, really. And you've actually even got a French train set there.
About these? What do these are?
These are very strange, aren't they? Well, these originally started in Italy, and they're made now locally, really, in Provence, out of local clay. Now, I don't know if you remember when you was at school, you used to have the nativity scene with the manger and the shepherds. This is sort of the French version of that.
In 1931, Frank Hornby introduced die-cast cars to actually accompany his train sets, and they turned into the fabulous, world-famous Dinky toys.
Right, that's where it came from.
So that's exactly why they are the size that they are as well.
Very good.
Yeah. How much have we got? 550 euros.
Lots of money.
That's £300.
That's £300.
That's a serious rejectable for us.
Absolutely.
But it's in mint condition. It's a lovely thing.
Yeah.
But not for us today.
No.
£300 for a train set? Cath, that doesn't get you raking round the attic. I don't know what will.
And what happened was, when the French Revolution happened in the late 1700s, it was, you know, you wasn't allowed to, religion went out the window, basically, and midnight mass was banned and all that. So they came up with these local figures based on local people and local tradesmen, so they could carry on having like a guardian over the small children, but in a more of a sort of secretive way. So these are like little sort of angelic figures that would look after little saints, and Santon actually means saint in French. So this is a little saint.
Very angelic looking.
You don't like?
I don't.
Nor me.
Oh, good.
You collect lots of bits and pieces. Do you go to car boot sales? Is that sort of thing you like to collect from?
I go to car boot sales, go to antique fairs. This is a different league, I think. We don't get this kind of, in the Northwest anyway, fairs like this.
This is a totally different experience for you.
All this furniture, all the wood, loads of wood. I love wood, and there's lots here.
Yeah.
Prices are very, very high. It's very hard to spot a bargain.
It is, isn't it?
They are there.
Yeah.
It's a case of looking hard for them.
But at least we've got wonderful sunshine as well.
Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
A lot warmer than home.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Well, there's plenty to look at in today's market. And if you fancy coming to Ile-sur-le-Sorgue yourself, you have a choice of airports. If you want cut price, you can go to either Nîmes or Marseille. Or if you want to go via Paris, there is Avignon. Today's market is Ile-sur-le-Sorgue's 77th International Antiques Fair. Over 250 dealers are installed here all year round, but when the fair's on, that number grows to over 1,000. The event is twice a year at Easter and in August, and you'll find the full gamut of dealers from the top end to old bric-a-brac. But be prepared to haggle if it's a bargain you're after. So, no purchases as yet, but while the teams are busy mulling over that first item, I have a few bargain ideas of my own, and I'm going to try and seek out what I think is the star buy of today's market. I have to say that this is not an easy market to buy in, because although there are thousands and thousands of things here to buy, it's not all that cheap. But having said that, just look at this. I have found something that I think our teams should buy. The French call this an hacheur, which means is to hash things, but more specifically is to chop herbs. This is dated about 1900 and it's made of pine, and just look at the wear. All these indentations here of where this is chopped away, which is exactly what we look for. These lovely indentations and use. Now, a couple of years ago, I saw an older version of this for sale at £1,000 in an English antique shop. So this today is marked at £25. It makes it look very, very reasonable indeed. And I think if either of our teams spot this, they should buy it. It's a great buy. But as yet, they've seen loads, but bought nothing.
Yeah.
But the interesting part about French chenets, or sort of fire guards as we tend to call them at home, is that these ends adjust
For the width of the fireplace?
Yes. So you can, depending on the width of your fireplace, these ends will either come in or go out. So these are really quite decorative pieces, which are also very, very saleable back home. As far as price is concerned, we're looking at almost £400, so
a lot of money.
That's another rejectable.
Another rejectable. The dogged search continues.
Lovely. See them in your garden. Do you notice the way the glaze stops there, but it's glazed on the inside? The reason being it's to store foodstuffs.
Right. So what sort of food? Olives or...?
Yeah, that sort of thing, generally, yeah. It could be anything, but it'd be something that would impregnate or penetrate the actual glaze. So this is why it's glazed, but it's a bit worn away. They're lovely, over 100 years old. God. I think they're going to be quite... Should we find out the price?
Just out of interest.
Fingers crossed, you never know. There could be a profit in those.
Yeah, well, we can try.
Let me find out. Wait there and I'll come back.
Never mind the price. How are you going to get them home? They must weigh a ton.
Well...
Go on. Go on.
500 quid for the pair.
Indeed.
Look at this here, Jonty. Right, look at this.
Well, that's pretty, isn't it?
Little baby's high chair, is it?
Absolutely, a child's high chair. What's so nice about this is it's what I would call a provincial piece of furniture. So it's a very rustic feel. A chair like this would have been made in the countryside for somebody who lived in the country. So this is not a posh town chair.
No.
The other great thing about it, I don't know if you've really noticed here, but most of this is hand cut.
Yeah.
So none of this is actually machine made.
None at all, no.
And look, I've just spotted the back here. You see, we've got these little dowels here.
The pegs, well,
No nails or screws. So all of this is put together by hand. You've got this lovely sort of rush seat. Now, with anything to do with rushing or caning, just check that the seat is in good nick, and this looks in pretty good nick too, because when it comes to resale, that matters, all of those sorts of things.
Could that be the original, or...?
It may not be.
No.
But the most important thing is that it's in good condition.
Yeah.
All right? Because that doesn't necessarily affect its value if it's being replaced.
It really is high time one of our teams made a purchase. Perhaps there's a bargain to be had from this English antique many miles from home.
I'll tell you what, though, for 40 quid, you got the condiment set, Grimmaid's, good make. Yeah. It's still got salt in it, look. What's going on there, look? It's still got salt in it. Have you got it at your grandmother's house or what? What's happening, look? It's not right.
How old do you think they are?
1940s, 1950s, somewhere around there. Quite collectible, this cottagey look. Yeah. Quite fashionable. You've got the salt, the pepper. I can't see any damage. I suggest we try and buy them. What do you think?
Yes, let's have a go.
Yeah?
Do we get him down a little more, do you think?
If you give him 6/10s, we'll try showing him 6/10s.
Mark's after a hefty discount, but he has a cunning plan.
So my plan is, I'm actually going to show him, the colour of the money, and that normally gets them excited. Oh, it's bon, eh? Nouvelle. I love money. Hey, c'est bon? Merci beaucoup, monsieur.
At last, our first purchase, a highly collectible Royal Wintonware butter dish and salt and pepper pots, all for under £40.
I'll bring you all the way to the south of France and we buy English china, can you believe it?
A good start for Cath, and I suspect Dave's not far behind.
The holes, are they a problem at all? Woodworm?
Yeah, I'm always concerned about woodworm, but a little chair like this, which was made of fruit wood, usually will have some sign of woodworm on here. The big tip is to give it a jolly good tap, like this, and if fresh dust falls out of it, be aware, that means that it's probably alive. And the most critical part about it is, how much is it? So we go and ask the price.
I think so.
Okay, I like that. Madame, s'il vous plaît, quel prix pour la chair? Quel prix?
60 € la chaîne.
60 €. Dernier prix?
50.
50.
50 €.
Dernier prix?
50.
50. So that's €50. So that's
50.
around the £30 mark.
£35.
I can think that we can put a little profit on that.
Jonty's right, a nice rustic chair which should make a very tidy profit. And they're not the only ones to have spotted a bargain. What a great period piece this is, a 1930s glass chandelier. And the only way to look at these is, as we would normally when they're up at the ceiling, it's got these lovely pink mottled glass domes, these lovely chrome arms here, and the wooden centrepiece. This is so smart. Unfortunately, it does have a little crack here, but if we turn it round, it won't be noticed. Now, fortunately, this is on sale at only €20, but if the dealer drops the price slightly in view of this crack, for £10 this is worth buying, and I really hope that one of our teams will spot it, because at home this would fetch a lot more. So there are bargains to be had, even in France's most famous antiques village. But there is more on offer than just antiques. Île-sur-la-Sorgue has been a wealthy town since the Middle Ages, when the popes of Avignon decreed that the local fishermen could have exclusive rights to supply the crayfish to the locality. Remember, in those days, and for religious reasons, they ate an awful lot of fish, and so it was a thriving industry for many centuries. By the 1800s, they were pulling out up to 15,000 fish a day, which is incredible, really, considering they were fishing by hand from these flat-bottomed boats called nigoshins, which, when translated, quite literally means dog drowners. And when you look at them, you can quite understand why. This traditional three-plank, low fishing boat is still used to navigate the shallow waters of the Sorgue. The boats are still manufactured by traditional craftsmen in Île-sur-la-Sorgue. The best time to see them in action is the first Sunday of each month, when the floating water market takes place. When the fish died out from diseases and overfishing, the enterprising local people weren't slow to catch on to new and even more lucrative industries: paper, silk, wool manufacturing. And yet again, they turned to the river for their wealth. The Sorgue is the ideal source for an endless and free supply of power, which is accessed through the use of water wheels. And there were at one time as many as 60 wheels operating in the town. No wonder the locals refer to the Sorgue as being a generous river. Well, I wonder if the river will be generous today to Dave and Cath. And I really hope they'll find some interesting old fishing rods or perhaps some fishing tackle, as anything to do with fishing memorabilia is extremely collectible. Back at the market, our teams would be pleased to hook any bargains at all.
I just left Dave shopping because I've spotted a chair that needs absolutely closer inspection. This is it. It's a design classic. It's probably one of the most famous chairs of the 20th century, and it's called the Barcelona chair. This chair was originally designed, believe it or not, all the way back in 1929 by a Dutch architect, Mies van der Rohe. Now, Mies van der Rohe was one of the most famous architects of all time. Believe it or not, he invented the first tower blocks ever to come out of the 20th century, tall steel structures. He only made one chair, a prototype, for an exhibition in Barcelona in 1929, hence his name. And all the rest are copies. Now, this chair was made in the 50s or 60s by one of his students, Parker Knoll, and many people at home probably recognise that name. It's made in this beautiful X-frame shape, supported by these leather straps here at the back. So it has all the give and all the comfort of a chair that has a sense of being sprung. This particular chair is priced at £1,500, which is quite simply out of our price range. But it's a lovely chair, a design classic.
From classic to collectible.
Wow, Cath, look at this. Isn't this fantastic? How funky, how cool. What do you think?
No, it doesn't do it for me. It doesn't do it for me at all.
Really?
Yeah, really. No.
Well, I tell you what I do like is that coffee table. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's 200 quid.
Oh,
You've
no.
noticed the way it sort of slides to open up?
Superb.
It's really cool, isn't it?
That
And
is
inside
nice,
you've
yeah.
got, I don't know if you see, somewhere to put bottles. It's really lovely. There's not a profit in that, I'm afraid.
No. What makes an antique? Now, this is quite modern.
Right.
So how come?
Definition, antique, 100 years old.
Yeah.
In reality, there's things that are 5 years old that are collectible. The only thing that interests me and you is profit.
And profit is the name of the game. With just one day to sell all their items, it's vital to steer clear of overpriced goods, even if they do look comfy.
Does it suit me?
Yeah, you look very nice in the chair, but actually, Dave, we've got some antique buying to do. Off, come on, off the chair, please.
No ending for you, is there? No ending.
back on the right track, Dave's about to discover that in Isle-sur-la-Sorgue, all that glitters is gold.
Okay, French mirrors are always exceedingly popular back home. It's quite interesting, if you look at the shapes of French mirrors, they tend to be what we call portrait rather than landscape.
Yeah.
And that's simply because French houses were taller.
Yeah.
They will still go over mantelpieces,
Yeah.
so these are mirrors that were designed to go
Yeah.
over fireplaces. But they tend to be higher
Yeah.
rather than wider,
fit in the room,
quite
yeah.
simply because the rooms are taller.
Yeah.
And that's all to do with heat.
Yeah.
So, you know, the rooms could afford to be bigger in France.
Keeping the
because
rooms
quite simply,
cool.
you want the, sort of the movement of
Yeah.
air.
Another interesting find by Dave and Jonty, and it looks like Cath and Mark are mirroring them.
Oh, yeah. Do you like those?
I do. What do you think? What's the difference between the gold one and the not so gold? You know,
They're very similar in styles. They're both around about 1900, 1920, somewhere around that sort of period. The squareness is that typical Edwardian-ness.
What age are these about?
These are all 19th century. Just have a look at the top decoration here, the top of this mirror.
Yeah.
This is what tells me that this mirror is 19th century.
Yeah.
Because all of this design work is Rococo in its feel and
Rococo.
design, which was
Rococo.
very, very popular in the 19th century, not only in France, but also in the UK.
Right.
And all of this sort of scroll work, heavy carved decorational work.
Almost like a fleur-de-lis, isn't it?
Well,
I
it's
think it would have been
quite
that big
similar.
there, yeah.
It's quite similar, but that's not fleur-de-lis. That's sort of very much sort of a canthus leaf type decoration.
Yeah.
And we're here looking at something that's 19th century because there was a huge revival for earlier periods, which is what we call this Rococo revival.
Both our teams have gone Rococo loco.
The actual frame is made of just something simple like pine.
Right.
And then on top of that, you've got gesso, which is like a plaster. And it would have been gilt. You see underneath there, can you see the gold
Yeah,
coming through?
yeah.
It would have been gilt originally. And this one's been over-painted with gold paint. But because of this lovely sort of fleur bit on the top there,
Yeah.
it really brings them up, makes them much more special. If you took this off, they'd be boring, square, horrible mirrors. This one's got a bit missing there,
Yeah.
but if someone's going to sort of paint over that or tidy that up, it won't matter too much.
And the backs are all right, aren't they?
Backs aren't that important because they're always against the wall.
Bang!
Not that important.
Right.
And the other important thing is it the original mirror plate.
Yeah.
And you can tell that. You see the pitting here?
Pitch at the back, yeah.
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 Now, if it was a fresh mirror, you wouldn't get any pitting at all. And that's the perishing of the
Is it also the depth
of the silvering at the back.
of the reflection as well?
Yeah, yeah. You've got the depth of the mirror.
Yeah.
Modern mirrors tend to be a lot more shallow.
Yeah.
And you can tell that quite simply if you put your finger up against the mirror there. You can just see how deep the
depth of it,
reflection
yeah.
is. So these mirrors here are definitely original to the actual frame itself,
Yeah.
and that's important.
The glass is quite simple, it's not beveled, but what we've actually got here is a pair from about the turn of the century, about 1900, 1910, somewhere around there, and I think they're quite nice. The only thing that lets them down is they're £60 each, which is a bit strong. They're worth that. That's exactly what they are worth. You should get 60 quid each for them all day long.
They're well within budget. Will it be mirrors all round?
They're actually priced here, so this is €1,200, so that's about £800, around that kind of ballpark. This mirror here is about 500, and likewise with this
Same
mirror
price.
as well. So they're out of our price range, so
Way out.
they're rejectable. Okay?
Marvellous.
But they're fun to look at. Come on.
Absolutely.
Dave and Jonty don't reflect on that price for long. Can Mark secure a fairer price for Cath?
What is the best price for the two mirrors?
110 is the last price, the better price.
Is that the Marchand Prix?
Yeah, sure.
110. That works out to about
Today is the day of merchant.
oui, £77. So that's about just under 40 quid each.
Yeah.
Definitely a profit there.
Yeah. Wait.
Tomorrow we will eat it.
Vendu, monsieur. Bonne fête. Give him the money, honey, and I'll write it in the book.
And let's hope it'll be a bonne fête for Cath when she tries to sell them back in the UK. So, at long last, both teams are off and running, which gives me the opportunity to nip off and find a few of the town's secrets. If you're coming to Isle-sur-la-Sorgue, try and pop into the Basilica de Notre-Dame des Anges. It's a fine example of a Baroque 17th century church built on top of an older cathedral. And it's called Our Lady of the Angels because inside there are 220 angels and cherubs escorting the Virgin Mary up to heaven. Let's have a look. The term Baroque covers a period in art history from about 1600 to 1750 and is synonymous with sumptuousness and excess. In architecture, there was an emphasis on expressiveness and grandeur, achieved through scale, the dramatic use of light and shadow, and increasingly elaborate decoration. It reflected the new wealth of the time, not just wealth in money, but in knowledge and technology.
Just look at all this gold leaf, carved cherubs and woodwork. This is a fine example of early 17th century Baroque art. Now, occasionally, fragments of these sort of things do turn up at brocante and antique markets around France. So if you're a lover of Baroque art, keep your eyes peeled, because at home these are very rare and very expensive. Well, you wouldn't think it to look at it, considering the vast scale of this building, but it is actually, like a lot of Île-sur-le-Sorgue, built on the river, on a vast timber raft. Well, it may sound incredible, but it isn't unique, because our own Winchester Cathedral, built around this time, is built in exactly the same way, on a huge oak substructure. Amazing.
You know, I can feel a pattern starting to emerge at today's market. I wonder if you can guess what it is.
4.7 to 28, that's a lot of money for a little watering can though, isn't it?
It's over £300.
That's ridiculous.
That's the most expensive bottle of colour I've ever bought.
Currently it's 170, so we've got quite a lot of movement to do. No, 170.
70?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
C'est combien, monsieur?
450.
That's about 400 quid.
That's lots of money for a bit of glass on a butter dish. Sorry, I wouldn't pay that. No way.
Yes, it's the prices, not just steep,
70 quid.
but extortionate. And although the teams are surrounded by every antique they could wish for, they just can't afford the blooming things. But what about this little fella? He's bound to be cheap.
Mark, really, I love him. Isn't he gorgeous? Very tat-tat, he's gorgeous.
Can I say two things to you? Tacky and £200. He's £200 and he's tacky. Rejectable.
Oh dear, never mind, Cath. Maybe Dave's having better luck.
Would you clean that up? Or...
Well, what I would suggest you do is actually, if you, at the market time, actually get some wax polish and give it a jolly good clean. That's all it needs, is a bit of beeswax on there, and that should really buff up into a lovely colour, and I love this. I think this, if this is the right price, we should buy it. Quel prix, s'il vous plaît?
38 €.
38, that's 38. That's fine, that's absolutely fine. And your best price?
30.
30. That's 20 quid.
Oh,
You've got to buy
make a
it.
profit on that or
That's
something.
fantastic. Okay.
Well spotted, Dave and Jonty. That early 20th century letterbox could well deliver a healthy profit back home.
Kitchenalia's been a bit of a struggle, isn't it, really?
certainly has,
And I
hasn't it?
love Kitchenalia. What about gardens? What about
Well,
this?
we might have a bit more luck. Hey,
This is the top's a bit uneven. It could do with a coat of paint, but it's a folding French table. It's got the hole in the middle for your parasol. How much?
€20.
Give him the money. Don't
Right.
even mess around. That's really good value. I like that. There we are. It's 60 to 80 years old. You just press these bits down there, and it folds down flat. Bingo.
And
Look
take
at that.
it away, it's fine.
Put it in the shed for the winter. Give it a colour paint. Springtime. Use it all summer.
Brilliant.
£15.
Brilliant.
It's a steal.
Yeah, I can see my wine on that at home.
No, it's not for you, darling. It's to sell for a
well,
profit.
all right
Give
then.
him the money and stop messing me around.
Steady on, Mark. I think Cath deserves a drink, having found such a great bargain. It's halfway through the day, and it's time to have a look at how our teams are getting on. Dave and Jonty have snapped up 8 items. I'm intrigued by this 1950s ceramic antelope, but will it sell? Well, at £7, it's not going to break the bank. I'm surprised they bought these storage jars. They are typically French, but to be blunt, they look as if they were made last week. Cath and Mark have bought just 6 items, including one of Mark's top tips for profit, coat hooks. This sturdy and stylish set should sell quite quickly back home, but I'm not sure that there's a profit on £30. Because remember that all this stuff has to be sold back in the UK, when Cath will find that selling is a bit harder than buying.
Come on, everybody. One table left. Just one table. Come on, everybody. Somebody. Anybody?
Dave and Jonty prove that matching shirts make for a happy team,
Fantastic, what a team. What a team, eh?
and Mark gets a touch of amnesia.
Take him away, Cath. Take him away. Take him away.
But that's yet to come. Back in France, both teams are having a tough time spotting bargains today. So I think it's time I came to the rescue with a bonus item.
Well, now is your opportunity to win the best bargain of the lot, the bonus item. Now, all you've got to do to win the bonus item is answer a question. What do you think it is? Dave?
Paper mache lacquered Japanese tray.
Yeah, Cath?
Yeah, I'd say something similar. Possibly a calligraphy holder, you know, for pens or something.
Well, you're both right, because it's papier-mâché, it's French, it's dated about 1880. Now, papier-mâché means literally that. It's mashed paper with glue, and then shaped, and then lacquered, and then decorated like this. Very popular in the Victorian times, or the Belle Epoque times, as we're in France. Now, the question is, and whoever answers to the nearest pound will be the winner. So how much do you think I paid for it today?
About, with this market, about 35.
35, Cath? Dave, what do you think?
I'll go near 20.
20? Do you know what? You're absolutely right. I paid exactly £20 for it. Well done, Dave. Now, I think this will fetch £40 back home, and the next time you see it will be on your stand. Now, your experts are waiting over there. You've got a little more shopping to do. See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
It's a scorching hot day, and I suspect that the sun has gone to Mark's head.
32 degrees. I'm absolutely boiling. And what am I thinking about? Christmas. Let me tell you why. At Christmas, I have a bowl of mixed nuts, and I always have trouble getting the shells off. But if I had a pair of these, life would be a lot easier. These spiky bits on the bottom are for knocking the shells off of different nuts. So, when the nuts all fall on the ground, people in the 18th century would wear a pair of these and stamp on the nuts, knocking the shells off. These are over 200 years old. They're £500. I'm going to be writing on my Christmas list and see what Santa does for me.
Nowadays, all sorts of things are collectible, but toys have always been popular and probably always will be. Now, down a little back street in Isle-sur-le-Sorgue, one person's hobby has turned into a fantastic collection we can all enjoy. Let's have a look. The Toy Museum in Isle-sur-le-Sorgue is a remarkable lifetime collection of a Madame Eugette Janselme, and is lovingly maintained and managed by her family to this day. There's a superb collection of dolls, puppets and automata dating from the late 19th century, and mostly in an amazing state of preservation.
Now, tucked away in the corner of this museum, there's a fantastic little cabinet of soldiers. Note, I didn't say toy soldiers. Now, let's have a look at them. They're very thin, they're almost flat. Now, you may think from their uniforms these are quite old, and indeed they do represent Napoleon's army in attack. Here we have the French dragoons at the back there, and the British infantrymen here at the front. Now, these weren't made to be played with. These were actually educational items. They were used in military academies to demonstrate plans of attack and historical battles over all the years for the students. So they weren't meant to be played with at all, and that fact makes them quite rare indeed. Now, these early tin soldiers were made in Germany, but in 1893 along came William Britton, an English manufacturer who discovered a method of hollow casting soldiers. This made them lighter and cheaper to produce, and they were mass-produced right up, in fact, till the 1950s, when along came plastic. Now, we do find toy soldiers, some of them even made today, up and down the country in flea markets and antiques markets everywhere. But if you do come across something like these, which weren't made as toys, you'd be very, very lucky indeed. And their price, incalculable.
If you'd like more information about this or any of the other fascinating places we visit in the series, log on to bbc.co.uk/lifestyle. Back at the market, it's certainly not playtime for our teams, who have just 2 hours left to spend the remainder of their £350 budget and reach the required 10 items.
Come on, let's see if your theory on corners works.
It does, it really does.
Yeah, OK.
It does.
OK, try me.
OK, let's have a look then. This is nearly a corner.
Does look fairly reasonably priced here.
Now, let me explain. Cath has a theory that even though the majority of items here are way overpriced, that there will be some bargains hidden away in the corners.
What about this?
Yeah, liking that. Can we afford it, though?
Of course not.
What have we got here?
What? No, not.
It's a little pine cupboard. Look at that. You can see the inside. See all these knots?
Yes.
That's pine. Smells nice, the old
Somebody's
bread.
dinner.
Don't worry about that. And the doors will be pine. They're thick enough to tell they're pine just by giving them a knock.
Somebody's painted it, does it?
It's been painted. Yeah, it's original scumble. They've painted it to try and make it look more impressive than just regular pine. Look, it's made to look a bit more sort of oaky.
Yeah.
It's good, solid. It's got no woodworm, which is really unusual for French furniture. I think it's really lovely.
So far, so good. And whatever Dave's shopping strategy is, it's also working. He's just spotted today's star buy. But will they buy it?
Oh, that's cool.
Bit of damage on the side there, not great
Let's have a
deal.
look.
Well hidden.
Isn't that great? What, 20
€20
euros? Is that
on
right?
it, yeah.
Oh, the glass is damaged. That's a pity.
It's not too...
20 euros, that's cheap as... Dernier prix pour...
Pour le lustre?
Oui?
Je peux vous faire 15 euros?
15? 15? Right. OK, 15 euros, that's a tenner.
I think so.
Should we go for that?
I think so.
Excellent.
Thank you for your bob on that. I'm sure we
Right.
can.
Sold. Dave knows a bargain when he sees one.
How old do you think it is?
1880, 1900.
Really?
Yeah, 100 years old, 120 years old, somewhere around there. Late Victorian.
You tend to think of pine being more modern, though, don't you?
No, pine's been used for hundreds of years, and it's been always been painted. It's only in the more modern times that we've actually allowed the natural grain to show and appreciated the timber for timber. I'd be amazed if we can't get more than £100 for it in the UK. I'd expect to get £100 for that all day long.
Yeah?
Let me find out the price. Monsieur, le placard, le dernier marchand prix, s'il vous plaît.
Je peux vous faire 55 euros.
55 euros, which is less than 40 quid.
Tout petit prix, hein?
I think you should give him the money and give him a kiss as well.
That's a fantastic price. I shall be testing out Cath's theory of corners myself. I have to say, Mark is very free with Cath's kisses. Lucky they didn't buy any more off the man. Now, today's fair is pretty exceptional, but you know there are over 250 antique shops in Ile-sur-le-Sorgue as well. And as I'm looking for today's prize for Cath and Dave, I think I'm looking for something a wee bit special. This shop looks quite promising. I'm thrilled. I found the perfect prize for either Dave or Cath. It's this. It was made in the height of the Art Nouveau period and is from a larger service, but it was meant to hold the contents of a gentleman's pocket. So for Dave, it's a perfect prize, and for Cath, she could perhaps put her rings and jewellery on it. And it's got all the markings that we're looking for, and it's in perfect condition. First of all, it tells us it's made in Limoges. Now, Limoges is an area known to make the best china in France. A lot of people think there was one manufacturer, that Limoges is in fact the manufacturer. It isn't. There were several very good manufacturers there. So it's a highly pedigreed item. And just look at the hand painting there, all hand done by Mr. Pouillet. And just look at the gilding. Usually, gilding of this age has faded terribly. All in all, I think either Dave or Cath would be delighted to win this lovely piece. That should spur our teams on to make the most of the next 60 minutes, which is all they've got left to spend their remaining money. And for Cath and Mark, who have £160 left, that's not long at all.
Come on, we haven't got time
I'm
for this.
cooling down, I'm cooling down.
We have not got time.
Oh, blimey.
Come on.
Quite right, Cath. At least some of us have our minds on the task in hand.
Oh, Cath, come here. There's something of your name written all over it.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Perfect.
you smooth talker. You smooth talker.
Isn't that lovely? The condition of that. That's got to be...
What is it? What is it?
I don't know, it's just a little tin. Oh, wow, look at that. It's a printing set.
Printing set. Oh, what's
And
in
this
there? What's in there?
opens up. Let's have a look. You'd soak that with ink. You'd set all your type into there.
Yes.
You'd do it on there, and then your dress would come out, and away you go. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that charming? Monsieur, le dernier prix, s'il vous plaît? Le marchand prix?
25 euros les marqués.
20?
Ouais, 20 euros.
15 quid. Just slightly, about £14. Somebody's got to buy that.
£14, that's quite literally perfect.
50 is that?
Yeah. Dernier prix, s'il vous
Not
plaît.
watching that.
50.
50? 40?
Vous êtes
Oui.
dur, hein,
That's 40 euros, so that's under £30.
So we ask 30, we get a bit of profit on it.
Yeah, do you think we can do that?
I think so.
I'm happy with that.
Getting desperate now.
It may be desperate times, but there's still a profit on £27 on this Art Deco light shade.
Are all the drops there? Are all the drops the same?
You can't come back and get them changed.
Now look, there. See that one's got that shape?
Right.
And that one's that shape. There's a mix, they're not the same.
Does that make any difference? See, look, the shape.
Yeah,
Shape.
different shapes. There's an odd one there. A couple of odd ones.
Non, il peut pas, mais
No, there's a couple of odd ones.
Not worth it. Think? Maybe.
I don't know.
See what
It's
price.
140 quid, which is a lot of money. Table over there, that's nice. Garden
Shall I have a
table.
look at that?
Yeah, can I have a look?
Is that lovely inkwell, isn't it? Cracking, look at
What a
that.
lovely colour. I like that.
It's beautiful.
It's pouring down, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's lovely. Probably about turn of the century, I think, just looking at the stars.
That's
It's crystal. Beautiful.
Is that Nouveau, is it?
It's probably 1930s, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely. Really
I like
fabulous
that.
quality.
I like
Okay.
that.
With only minutes left, Cath and Mark still have £130 to spend. And the plan is to get a good deal by spending it all with one dealer.
Nice garden table, could do with a coat of paint, 100 years old, bit stylish, £35, got to double your money.
oui, mais je sais,
He wants 200 for that, 50 for that.
Oh, look at the price, 220 euros. Desperate measures, so it's a bit of imposition, but if you don't ask, you don't get. So that's what I'll do for you.
Gotta go for it.
All right, should we just ask?
Gotta go for it.
Madame, would you accept 145 for this? Will you accept that?
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
Can I give you a kiss? Yes?
Yes.
Give me a kiss because it's the end of the day. Mwah. I love you. Thank you so much. I'm not going to give you a kiss.
Oh, now I'm sulking now.
Kissy celebrations aside, Dave and Jonty have spent out, and by the skin of their teeth. Yes! But what about Cath? There is now just seconds to spare.
150.
God, we're so close.
And this and la
Right, get your money out and have a look. Let's have a look. We're just going to regard the money.
Yeah.
The
The last.
last, see what we got. Now, come here, let's have a look. Is that it? Check. Double check.
Oh, go,
Right, let's have a look. Come here, everybody.
English.
80, some. 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, some. 10, 20, 35. Fini.
235. C'est bon, ça passe.
C'est bon?
Ouais, c'est bon.
Look, my cupboard is bare. Monsieur, merci.
With just seconds of shopping time left, Cath and Mark managed to do a cracking deal. £128 for a garden table and crystal chandelier.
How long? How long?
You've got like a minute left. That's all mad. Well done, you.
Considering this was such an expensive market, I think both teams have done really well. Dave and Jonty managed to find 14 items, my favourite being the walnut postbox, which at £20 was a real bargain and bound to deliver a pretty penny. Their final purchase, the glass inkwell, was real quality, but at £98, have they given themselves enough room for a profit? I do hope so, as it is a beautiful piece. Cath and Mark struggled to uncover the bargains and only just hit the 10-item minimum. This large pine cupboard, however, was a real winner at a mere £37. Their last purchase, the crystal chandelier, even with a discount, set them back £95. They may struggle to make a profit on that in just one day. We'll have to wait and see. Now, Dave, what's the favourite piece that you've bought here today?
Gotta be the high chair. I love it. Lovely piece of wood.
Very nice indeed. But Jonty, what's going to make you the most money?
Well, it's got to be the inkwell, Chris. We paid £95 for that, but we got a massive £50 discount. I can see to the right bar that's going to be £200 to £300.
I hope you're right, Jonty. And Cath, what's your favourite item today?
It's got to be this chandelier.
It's beautiful.
It's very glitzy, isn't it? And Mark, is that going to make you big bucks?
It really will, Chris, but the cupboard's going to make us the most amount of money. It's less than 40 quid for this lovely pine cupboard. It's absolutely perfect.
Oh, well done. Well done, both teams. And the next time you see everything here, we'll be back in the UK. See you there. Well, we're back in Britain, where selling is the name of the game, and it will have to be hard selling. Today, we're in the grounds of Woollerton Hall in the city of Nottingham, where twice a year, thousands of people gather from miles around for the Antiques and Collectibles Fair. The question is, will any of those thousands want to buy what Cath and Dave have to sell? There's only one way to find out. Let's have a look. But hard selling needs hard work, and it's high time for Dave and Cath to dig out dusters and put in some elbow grease. Not only is Dave a master baker, but he's a dab hand with a duster. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who will have the fairest stall? Or will Mother Nature put a dampener on it all? Oh dear, and so early in the day. But instead of putting people off, the rain appears to have whet the appetites of the other dealers here at Woollerton. And the first sale of the day goes to Cath's coat hooks. They're Mark's top tip for profits and don't disappoint today.
Sorry.
That's cheap as chips.
I've got to do a deal.
Do not
Come on.
take the
That is the
mickey out
deal.
of me, my friend.
38.
Do not, no,
38,
no,
come on.
No, 40 quid.
That is beautiful.
Absolutely 40 quid.
That engraving, that's got to be a lot of age on that.
Yours 40 quid.
Really ornate engraving on that.
Go on, £2.
That's a great start for Dave. The postbox delivered a £20 profit.
And I hope you make a lot of money with that. We will. Seriously,
You will make a lot of money on that. That is beautiful, that.
OK. Now, we're really looking for about 120. You've sort of said 80. What about if we was to meet in the middle at 100? I think 100's a
100,
really...
yeah, I think that's a good buy.
That is a really good buy. It's gorgeous.
Absolutely.
It's a snip. It's a snip.
Mark's got high hopes for high profits on the cupboard.
She's going to come back, Mark, and she's going to get her husband.
100's it. It's worth £100 a ring on Tiny. It's a cheap cupboard, 100 quid.
Whilst Dave and Jonty are deep in a discussion of tactics, they've forgotten to keep an eye on their stock. And look who snuck over. Isn't that Dave's light shade?
Oh, yellow pot.
What dodgy dealings could Mark be concocting?
For 15 quid, you've got to buy it.
You're joking, are you?
Did you
No, that's why I wasn't going to hold the top, because... Medic!
You got to give him discount now, John.
Ah, so that's his tactic. Not an obvious one, injuring your rival's potential customers, but it could work.
It's a snip.
£90 before it gets wet, and I'll take it away on a trolley.
No, it's £100 and that's it. Honestly, that's our reserve. We can't... We pay good money in a very expensive part of France. It's got to be 100. It's far too early to start taking losses.
Right.
It's a fair price. I'm giving you a profit.
He's a tricky customer.
Go on, tempt me. Tempt me, really tempt me.
Really, really tempt you with a sore foot.
Do it for 40, mate.
No, 45.
45, yeah.
Well,
Squeezing.
I know. That's beautiful. that.
exactly, look at that lovely
That is
blue
beautiful.
sky.
45.
Mark's sabotage plan is foiled, and Dave makes a save.
95 and we've got a deal and I'll fetch my own trolley and that's it.
I'll toss you 95, 100. Let's toss the coin, come on.
Right, we'll leave it. No, we'll leave it then.
OK,
It's
thanks.
95.
Let the boss decide.
Okay.
It's up to you. It's up to you. I'm letting you decide.
What, 98?
95.
98?
95.
98?
95.
98? 98? 98?
Slip at 95 for me, I agree. but not at
98.
100. But we're arguing about £5, so...
Yes, all right then, go on. Sell it, yeah.
What a battle of the hagglers! But it's Cath who's victorious with a £58 profit.
37 quid. Nice profit. Come to Daddy. Good girl, eh?
starting off by asking £40. You look very interested, and you're beautiful girls, and that would make a beautiful gift. And I can come down as far as...
You said gift, David. Does that mean you're going to give it to them, David?
No, for them to give.
You said your words, ladies.
Excuse me.
Take him away, Cath. Take him away. Take him away.
This is papier-mâché. Can you feel how light it is? Have you felt it?
It's really light, yeah.
It's actually layers of paper, moulded and baked in an oven. How much is it, Dave?
We wanted £40 for that, and it's not going. I'm offering these young ladies for £15. Absolute snip.
It's a bargain.
It is gorgeous. Go on then.
It's lovely. Yeah?
Yeah.
Good?
Why not? She loves
Excellent. Fantastic. Well done.
That's £15 pure profit for our pair in purple.
Well done, sir.
We're catching up, slowly but surely.
Could this be the perfect sale?
Well, that's very old and very collectible, and as I'm sure you know.
Tenner?
I'm going to run a loss.
Cash.
12.
Go on then.
12. I'll still only got
You want the money now?
Yes, please.
Have you got some change?
I'll do my best.
That is a loss, but just a small one. Smooth-talking Jonty tries to work his magic selling the high chair.
Put your hand up and down that leg there. Do you see how uneven that is?
Yes, yeah, very rustic.
That shows you that this has all been hand cut. And this is all one piece of wood there. And you've got this lovely, what we call sort of sabre leg to it. And the front here also has this beautiful sabre leg. And again, feel that. You can see that that's all been hand cut. Yeah.
Come on, Jonty, while you're waxing lyrical, Cath's making another sale.
Unfortunately, we haven't got much.
Got a cottage.
We've got a cottage.
With roses going all round it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look at it. It's a little butter dish. You see? Please have a feel. How much is that? It's Royal Winton.
25 would do that for.
That's a very good deal.
So I like the young lady.
Oh, right. You don't give my stock away now. OK.
No. 20.
I can do 21.
Sorry, 20.
You drive a hard bargain, don't you?
Would you like it for 20? Would you? Marvellous.
Oh, that is cheap. Just £20 for the Grimswade butter dish.
But you can have this chair for £80.
Right. You take 60 for it.
Here's the boss. Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Make a suggestion, no suggestion. But why don't you meet the lady halfway?
Yeah, I think £70.
Drive a hard bargain.
I would buy that for myself. I think it's wonderful.
You love this chair.
I just love it. I love wood.
Yeah.
You know, beautiful.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
£70.
Great stuff. I'm so made up. Wonderful.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup indeed. £37 profit on the high chair. That puts Dave and Cath's takings neck and neck. Now, unlike the professional dealers here who can hold out for weeks or even months to get a good price for their wares, Dave and Cath only have one day to sell everything. It'll be incredible if they even manage to earn back the £350 I gave each of them in France. And the bad news is they've only got 1 hour left.
Okay, Dave, this is what we do. The inkwell, we start for £200.
Yeah.
I want to see that, around 120, and then come down to about 100, which means we've broken even.
Yeah.
If we can get our money back, fine. These sorts of items here, like the chandelier and this pot here with a slight chip in it, just get rid of it for any kind of money, because that doesn't really matter.
No.
And everything else is all negotiable, but the prices have really got to come down as low as possible.
Now, what we really need is dealers, because we've got some great trade pieces here to sell on. You know, they're nice for the public, but I don't think the public are really buying today. I'm going to whiz round and try and drum up a little bit of interest with the dealers. Basically, sell stuff at cost, 1 penny profit, 1 penny loss at cost. Aim for cost straight away. Right. Try not to get beaten down below cost. Very small loss is okay, because we made a good profit on the cupboard and the coat hooks. I reckon 5.
Bye. Come on, people, where are you?
Very quickly, the word goes round that there are bargains to be had.
Well, make us an offer.
3.
£3? That is seriously insulting, but it's yours.
Good sale. It's gone anyway. A bit less to take home.
I should think of you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Jolly good.
Okay.
A bit of TLC.
£100 for the lot.
£100 up the best years. All right, I'll take the £100.
Okay.
Right, that's superb.
the absolute best.
Yeah, I want my money back. I don't want to take a loss on it.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's all right.
80.
80?
Yeah.
Okay, 80 at the end of the day.
So we've got a deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll lend you the money and then you own and draw.
I like this chappie. I want one of those.
It's nice and handy to have.
I want one of these.
It's immaculate. Okay. Got a mark on it.
Just to save your bacon.
You've saved my life.
Excellent teamwork in the purple corner.
We're sold.
Great, we're done. John T, fantastic. What a team. What a team, eh?
80.
One table left, just one table. Come on, everybody. Somebody. Anybody? One table. Don't let him beat me.
Never mind, Cath, you've had plenty of profits to make up for any loss on that table. There really have been some great sales today. Dave's biggest profit was on that rustic high chair, a quirky item that brought in a nice £37 profit. In fact, Dave actually made a profit on 11 of his 14 items, and his biggest loss was on my Star by Deco light, which lost £9. Cath made more losses than profits. However, her profits were considerably higher than Dave's. The pine cupboard made a huge £58. Someone was very lucky with a beautiful glass chandelier, which sadly lost her £15. So, with all the ups and downs, who is going to be today's winner? Teams, all I can say is brilliantly done. But Dave, were there any moments, do you think, when you thought, oh, it's not going to sell?
Absolutely. When the heavens opened up,
Yes.
that was it. I thought, no way.
Yeah.
But it dried up and they came back again.
Well, look what you've done, for goodness sake.
Can't believe it.
Fantastic.
It has gone.
Yeah.
The whole caboose.
I can see. Well done, Dave. John T, how about you? Were there any things that you thought, oh, goodness me, it's not going to go?
I felt exactly the same as Dave. Yeah. We had a really good flourish right at the beginning of the day, and then it just went deadly quiet. Yeah. But we really managed to scrape those sales all together, and we've done incredibly well.
It's amazing what we can do.
Teamwork.
You're a brilliant salesman. And you, Cath, are a brilliant saleswoman. Have you had fun?
Oh, I have.
Have you?
I have, yes.
Great.
Yes, I have to say, buying it was good and selling it was even better.
It's quite an experience for you,
yes,
Cath.
very.
I'm glad to hear it. The result speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Certainly does. Thank
Mark,
you.
and is Cathy a good saleswoman?
She is. She's very persistent.
Yes.
And I love the technique she comes out with. She's a complete and utter liar. She pretends she paid more than she did, and I think she's fantastic. Fantastic.
She's learned from you.
Yes.
Well, teams, the moment you've been waiting for, who is going to be today's prize winner? So here are your figures from the original £350 of euros I gave you in France. Cath, you have made a profit today. You have taken £380. Well done, you. A very good profit. And Dave, you, from your £350, you have taken today £454.
Yes, David!
Today's winner. Congratulations.
David.
Well done.
Oh, you're an angel.
Now, let me tell you what you've won. This is yours.
Oh, wow.
This is a Limoges Art Nouveau dish. It's a dressing table dish.
Christmas.
Use it and enjoy it.
Every Christmas. And
Well,
I think of you all.
I hope you do.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed.
Well, we've enjoyed having you. Thank you very much for joining us, and let's see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.